In 1963, a Turkish man was renovating his house, knocking down a basement wall, when he stumbled into a hidden world, a sprawling underground city called Derinkuyu, carved into the rock 3,000 years ago. This wasn't just a cave. It was a labyrinth of tunnels, rooms, and ventilation shafts, built to shelter 20,000 people with kitchens, stables, and even churches. Why would an entire civilization hide beneath the earth? Who are they fleeing from? This is the story of a discovery that rewrote history, a subterranean marvel that raises questions we still can't answer. Join me as we descend into Derinkuyu's depths and uncover its secrets. In the first millennium BCE, the region of Cappadocia in central Turkey was a crossroads of empires, a rugged landscape of volcanic rock, fairy chimneys, and rolling plains that shaped a unique chapter in human history. Around 3,000 years ago, when the Hittites, Phrygians, and later Persians vied for control. This area was a volatile frontier, caught between warring powers and marauding tribes. The discovery of Derinkuyu, a massive underground city, in 1963 revealed a hidden world where entire communities sought refuge beneath the earth, a testament to survival in a land where danger loomed above ground. Cappadocia's geology was key to its history. Formed by volcanic eruptions millions of years ago, its soft, tough rock hard enough to carve, but soft enough to shape with basic tools, made it ideal for creating subterranean shelters. By the 8th century BCE, the region was home to the Phrygians, people known for their rock-cut tombs and intricate metalwork, who likely began digging these complexes. Later, as the Persian Empire expanded under Cyrus the Great, Cappadocia became a satrapy, its strategic position making it a target for invasions and raids. By the Hellenistic period, 4th–1st centuries BCE, Greek influence mingled with local traditions, followed by Roman and Byzantine rule, each leaving marks on the underground cities. Life above ground was perilous. Nomadic tribes like the Cimmerians and Scythians swept through, pillaging villages. Later, Arab invasions in the 7th century CE brought new threats, as did conflicts between the Byzantine Empire and its rivals. Cappadocians' farmers, herders, and traders lived in constant fear of attack, their mud-brick homes defenseless against cavalry or siege. Religion shaped their world. Early inhabitants worshipped Hittite gods, while later Christians carved churches into the rock, fleeing persecution. Underground living wasn't just practical. It was a cultural response to a landscape of uncertainty, where survival meant hiding. Derinkuyu, one of dozens of underground cities in Cappadocia, was likely built and expanded over centuries from Phrygian times through the Byzantine era, capable of housing 20,000 people. It featured ventilation shafts, wells, and multi-level chambers, an engineering marvel for its time. Its purpose was refuge, shielding communities from invaders, bandits, or religious purges. The region's trade routes, linking Persia to the Mediterranean, brought wealth but also danger, as merchants and pilgrims attracted raiders. Above ground, Cappadocia's rock-hewn churches and monasteries thrived, but below, a secret civilization flourished, its existence known only to those who carved it. The discovery of Derinkuyu in 1963 peeled back this hidden world, raising questions about who built it and what they feared enough to live like moles beneath the earth. The protagonist of this story, isn't a single individual, but a monumental feat of human resilience, Derinkuyu, the ancient underground city in Turkey's Cappadocia region, a sprawling subterranean complex carved from volcanic rock around 3,000 years ago, discovered by accident in 1963 when a local man broke through a wall in his basement. Derinkuyu is a labyrinthine marvel capable of housing up to 20,000 people, complete with ventilation systems, wells, and multi-level chambers. It stands as a collective testament to the ingenuity and desperation of its builders and inhabitants. A hidden world that sheltered generations from invaders, reflecting the enduring spirit of a people who turned the earth itself into a fortress. Derinkuyu sprawls across 18 levels, descending 85 meters into the ground. Its tunnels and rooms hewn from soft, tough rock with nothing more advanced than chisels and picks. Imagine descending narrow stairways into a self-sufficient underworld. Vast halls for communal living, stables for livestock, kitchens with soot-blackened ceilings from cooking fires, and even wineries where grapes were pressed into sustenance. Ventilation shafts, ingeniously designed to draw fresh air from the surface while expelling smoke, snake through the complex like arteries, preventing suffocation in its depths. Massive stone doors, weighing up to 500 kilograms, could be rolled into place to seal entrances, their circular shape allowing a single person to operate them from inside, turning the city into an impregnable bunker. Who were the people behind this engineering wonder? The initial builders were likely the Phrygians around the 8th–7th centuries BCE, an Indo-European people known for their rock-carving skills and ties to the Hittite legacy. They expanded natural caves into hideouts during raids by nomadic tribes like the Sumerians. Later, under Persian rule in the 6th century BCE, the complex grew, but it reached its zenith during the Byzantine era, 4th–11th century CE. When Christian communities fled Arab invasions and iconoclastic persecutions. These inhabitants, farmers, artisans, priests, and families lived above ground in peace, but retreated below during threats, sometimes for months. A resident like Eudoxia, a fictional Byzantine woman, might have tended underground gardens, drawing water from deep wells, while her husband stood guard at a stone door, listening for the rumble of enemy horses. The city's design reveals a society focused on survival and community. Chapels with frescoes of saints show their Christian faith, while storage rooms stocked with grain and oil highlight preparedness. Schools and meeting halls suggest education and governance continued underground, children learning by oil lamplight. Yet life was harsh claustrophobic tunnels, constant dampness, and the psychological strain of isolation tested their resolve. Conflicts arose. Scarce resources might spark disputes, and the ever-present fear of discovery by enemies above added tension. The builders faced engineering challenges to ensuring structural integrity in unstable rock, managing waste without contaminating water, and maintaining air quality for thousands. Derinkuyu wasn't alone. It connected to a network of over 200 underground cities in Cappadocia, like Kamakli, forming a subterranean highway for escape and trade. Its people were resourceful adapters, blending Phrygian craftsmanship with Byzantine faith. Their underground existence, a rebellion against surface chaos. The 1963 discovery by a homeowner in Nevihir peeled back this hidden life. But the true protagonists, the anonymous carvers and dwellers, remain enigmatic. Were they fleeing specific invaders, or building for an uncertain future? Derinkuyu embodies human tenacity, a underground utopia born of fear, where communities thrived in darkness, their legacy etched in stone for us to marvel at today.
In the spring of 1963, in the quiet town of Nevihir in central Turkey, a homeowner named Mehmet was renovating his modest house, hammering away at a basement wall to expand his storage space. What he uncovered was no ordinary find-a-hidden tunnel leading to a vast underground labyrinth that would rewrite the history of human settlement. Mehmet's hammer strike echoed through the rock, dislodging stones to reveal a dark passageway. Curious, he ventured in with a flashlight, stumbling upon a network of tunnels and chambers carved deep into the volcanic tuff. Word spread quickly. Local authorities were alerted, and archaeologists from Ankara descended on the site. Initial explorations uncovered astonishing details, 18 levels descending 85 meters. With ventilation shafts drawing fresh air from the surface, wells tapping underground water sources, and massive rolling stone doors designed to seal off invaders. This wasn't a simple cave. Otumid was a fully functional city, complete with living quarters, kitchens, stables, wineries, and even churches adorned with Byzantine. The turning point came as excavations progressed in the late 1960s, when teams realized Derinkuyu's scale and sophistication. Radiocarbon dating and artifacts placed its origins around 1200 to 800 BCE, during the Hittite and Phrygian era, with expansions continuing through the Roman and Byzantine periods up to the 10th century CE. The complex could house 20,000 people for months. Its design a marvel of ancient engineering. Ventilation systems, 52 shafts in total, prevented carbon monoxide buildup, while allowing smoke from cooking fires to escape. Wells, some 60 meters deep, provided water immune to surface poisoning by enemies. Narrow tunnels forced attackers into single file, easy targets for defenders, while hidden escape routes connected to nearby underground cities like Kamakli, forming a regional network spanning kilometers. This discovery shifted our understanding of ancient survival strategies. Before 1963, Cappadocia was known for its fairy chimneys and rock-cut churches. But Derinkuyu exposed a hidden underworld built for defense. Why go underground? The region's history of invasions and Cimmerian raids in the 7th century BC. Persian conquests, Arab incursions in the 7th-8th centuries CE, and later Seljuk and Ottoman threats drove communities to dig. Phrygians likely started with basic shelters, but Byzantines expanded them during the Arab-Byzantine Wars. When Christians hid from iconoclasts and raiders, the city's chapels, with crosses and saintly murals, suggest religious refuge. While oil presses and storage jars indicate self-sufficiency, the fallout from the discovery was profound. Turkey's government declared Derinkuyu a protected site in 1985, opening parts to tourists and boosting Cappadocia's UNESCO status. Archaeologists uncovered similar cities, over 200 in the region, but Derinkuyu's size made it iconic. Yet, mysteries emerged. Who exactly built it? Hittite tools suggest early origins, but Byzantine artifacts dominate. Were they fleeing specific enemies, like the Arabs, or preparing for apocalyptic threats? Modern theories propose climate factors, droughts or earthquakes or even pandemics, but evidence points to warfare. The 1963 breach not only exposed the city, but ignited debates on ancient engineering, comparing it to modern bunkers like Switzerland's Cold War shelters. This incident transformed Nevşehir from a sleepy town into a hub of intrigue. Mehmet, the unwitting discoverer, became a local legend, his home now part of the site's entrance. The discovery challenged Eurocentric views of history, highlighting Anatolian ingenuity, predating Roman aqueducts. It also raised ethical questions. Tourism brings revenue, but risks damage to fragile structures. Derinkuyu's revelation was a portal to a lost world, where fear forged innovation, and a simple renovation uncovered secrets buried for millennia. The discovery of Derinkuyu in 1963 peeled back a hidden chapter of human history, revealing an underground city that was as much a fortress of survival as it was a marvel of engineering. Carved into the soft volcanic tuff of Cappadocia, Turkey, over 3,000 years ago. This subterranean labyrinth was built to shelter up to 20,000 people from invasions, religious persecution, and the chaos of a volatile region. Yet, the story of Derinkuyu is one of relentless struggle against the elements, the threats above ground, and the challenges of living in a claustrophobic underworld. Its builders and inhabitants faced constant peril, while modern archaeologists and conservators grapple with preserving its fragile remains and unraveling the mystery of why such a sophisticated refuge was needed and how its knowledge faded. For the ancient inhabitants, survival meant mastering an environment where every day tested their ingenuity. Imagine Eudoxia, our fictional Byzantine woman, descending narrow, torchlit tunnels with her children, carrying jars of grain to a communal storage room 60 meters underground. Derinkuyu's builders, likely starting with the Phrygians around 1200–800 BCE, and expanded by Byzantines through the 10th century CE, faced formidable challenges. Carving 80 levels from tough rock required precision. A miscalculated cut could collapse a chamber. Ventilation was critical. 52 shafts, some 100 meters long, were engineered to circulate air, preventing suffocation for thousands. Misjudge a shaft's angle, and smoke from cooking fires could choke the city. Water wells, dug to avoid surface contamination, demanded constant maintenance to prevent silt blockages. Massive stone doors, rolled into place to seal entrances, needed perfect balance to be operated by one person under siege. Life underground was a struggle against nature and human limits. The air, though ventilated, was damp and heavy, fostering mold and illness. Families lived in cramped rooms, 2 to 3 meters wide, sleeping on stone benches. Food grain, dried fruit, pressed oil was rationed to last months, as invasions could trap them below 4 seasons. Livestock, kept in underground stables, required fodder hauled from the surface, a logistical nightmare. Psychological strain was immense. Claustrophobia, fear of collapse, and isolation gnawed at morale. Conflicts flared, families squabbled over space, and leaders enforced strict rules to prevent chaos. Eudoxia might have prayed in a rock-hewn chapel, its frescoes of Christ glowing faintly, while her husband stood guard, listening for enemy footsteps above. Children, taught in underground schools, grew up knowing the surface as a place of danger, not home. The external threats were relentless. Cappadocia's history is a litany of invasions. Cimmerian raids in the 7th century BC, Persian conquests, Alexander's successors, and later Arab incursions during the 7th. Byzantine Christians fleeing iconoclastic purges or Muslim armies expanded Derinkuyu to hide from slaughter. The city's design reflects this. Narrow choke points forced attackers into kill zones where defenders could drop stones or boiling oil. Escape tunnels linked to other cities like Kamikli, allowing evacuation if one fell, yet survival demanded secrecy. A single traitor could reveal an entrance, dooming thousands. Betrayal was a constant fear, as was starvation if sieges outlasted supplies. The modern struggle began with Derinkuyu's rediscovery. Mehmet, the homeowner who broke through his basement wall in 1963, sparked a frenzy. Archaeologists faced a race against time exposed to air. The tough rock risked erosion, and looting was rampant as locals scavenged artifacts. Early excavations, lacking modern tools, damaged delicate structures. Some frescoes crumbled under careless handling. By the 1980s, Turkey's government opened parts to tourism, but this brought new conflicts. Foot traffic, humidity from breathing visitors, and vibrations from nearby construction threatened collapses. Conservationists battled to stabilize tunnels while balancing public access. Derinkuyu now sees 500,000 visitors yearly. Its narrow passages often overcrowded. Unraveling Derinkuyu's origins is another conflict. Who started it? Hittite tools suggest 1200 BCE beginnings, but Byzantine expansions dominate the evidence. Crosses, churches, and Greek inscriptions. Were Phrygians hiding from nomads? Or were later Christians evading Arab swords? Some theorize climate shifts, droughts, or volcanic ash drove people underground. But warfare is the stronger case, given the defensive design. No written records confirm its builders. Unlike Egypt's pyramids, Derinkuyu left no king's name. The absence of human remains adds mystery. Did inhabitants flee, or were bodies cleared? Archaeologists like Okus Taninda argued it was a multi-ethnic effort, blending Hittite, Phrygian, and Byzantine skills, but funding shortages and Turkey's political unrest slowed digs. Comparisons to modern infrastructure highlight Derinkuyu's genius and struggles. Its ventilation rivals Cold War bunkers, like those in Switzerland, designed for nuclear fallout. Modern subway systems, like London's Underground, echo its multi-level layout. But Derinkuyu's builders lacked steel or electricity, relying on muscle and math. Today's urban planners study it for disaster-proof cities, yet struggle with similar issues: ventilation, structural integrity, and human endurance in confined spaces. The mystery of its decline haunts us. Why abandon such a fortress? The Byzantine Empire's fall to the Seljuks in the 11th century likely ended its use, as surface villages grew safer. Knowledge of its construction faded, buried by oral tradition and time. Derinkuyu's survival is a miracle, preserved by dry rock and secrecy, but its story is one of conflict against invaders, nature, and oblivion. Its inhabitants, from Phrygian farmers to Byzantine priests, fought to live unseen, their legacy a silent city. Modern caretakers battle erosion and tourism's toll, while scholars wrestle with its unanswered questions. Derinkuyu stands as a monument to human tenacity. A subterranean world where survival meant carving hope from stone. Yet its builders' fears and fates remain as elusive as the shadows they hid within.
The accidental discovery of Derinkuyu in 1963 unveiled a subterranean marvel that reshaped our understanding of ancient survival, revealing a 3,000-year-old underground city in Cappadocia, Turkey, capable of sheltering 20,000 people. Its outcome was transformative. It elevated Cappadocia to a global archaeological treasure, drew parallels to modern bunker systems, and sparked enduring questions about its builders and their fears. Yet, the story of Derinkuyu is also one of partial erasure. Its creators remain nameless. their motives debated, and their legacy at risk from modern pressures. Recognized as a pinnacle of human ingenuity, the city's secrets remain buried in the rock. A testament to a civilization that thrived in hiding, but left few traces of its own story. The immediate outcome of the 1963 discovery was a seismic shift in archaeology. Mehmet, the homeowner who broke through his basement wall, became a local hero, his house now a gateway to Derinkuyu's depths. Turkish archaeologists, led by figures like Okus Taninde, excavated the site through the 1960s and 1970s, uncovering 18 levels with living quarters, churches, and ventilation systems that rivaled modern engineering. By 1985, Derinkuyu was declared a UNESCO World Heritage Site alongside other Cappadocian rock sites, cementing its status as a global wonder. Tourism surged, with over 500,000 visitors annually exploring its tunnels, boosting Turkey's economy but straining the fragile, tough rock. The discovery revealed over 200 similar underground cities in the region, like Kamakli and Zakonek, suggesting a vast subterranean network built for survival. Recognition came swiftly in academic circles. Scholars dated Derinkuyu's origins to the Hittite or Phrygian era, 1200 to 800 BCE. With major expansions during the Byzantine period, 4th–11th century CE, linking it to invasions by Cimmerians, Persians, Arabs, and later Seljuks. Its engineering 52 ventilation shafts, wells reaching 60 meters, and 500-kilogram stone doors drew comparisons to modern bunkers, like those built during the Cold War in Switzerland or the U.S. articles in National Geographic and documentaries, such as PBS's Secrets of the Dead, hailed it as proof of ancient technological prowess, predating Roman aqueducts. Engineers studied its airflow systems for urban planning, while historians saw it as a response to the region's constant warfare, from nomadic raids to religious persecutions. Derinkuyu became a symbol of resilience, its builders lauded as anonymous geniuses who turned rock into refuge. Yet, erasure haunts its legacy. No inscriptions name the architects or inhabitants. Unlike Egypt's pyramids, Derinkuyu bears no king's boast. Artifacts, pottery, tools, frescoes point to Phrygian beginnings and Byzantine Christian use, but no texts detail its construction or daily life. Were they fleeing specific enemies, like Arab invaders, or preparing for broader threats, like droughts or pandemics? The absence of human remains suggests inhabitants fled or were buried elsewhere, erasing their personal stories. Women, likely vital as cooks, weavers, or caretakers in the underground community, are invisible in the record, their contributions lost to a male-dominated narrative. The city's decline, likely after the Seljuk conquest in the 11th century when surface life stabilized, left it forgotten, sealed by collapsed entrances and oral traditions that faded over time. Modern challenges deepen this erasure. Tourism, while spreading recognition, risks destruction. Visitor breath raises humidity, eroding frescoes, and footsteps weaken tunnels. A 2014 collapse in a nearby site raised alarms, prompting stricter access limits. Political instability in Turkey, including the 2016 coup attempt, has cut funding for conservation, while looters target lesser-known caves for artifacts. Climate change worsens the threat. Increased rainfall erodes tuff and seismic activity, common in Cappadocia, endangers unstable chambers. Efforts to preserve Derinkuyu, like 3D scanning by Turkish universities, aim to document it before further loss, but resources are scarce. The city's outcome resonates beyond archaeology. It's a case study in survival architecture. It's inspiring modern designs for disaster-proof cities, like Japan's earthquake-resistant bunkers or Elon Musk's proposed Mars habitats. Yet, its erasure mirrors other lost knowledge like the Antikythera mechanism, S-gears, or Cambyses's S-armyware. Brilliance vanishes without record. Derinkuyu's recognition in popular culture, from travel blogs to video games like Assassin's Creed, keeps it alive, but sensationalism, for example, alien city theories, dilutes its historical weight. Locally, Cappadocians view it with pride, a link to ancestors who defied annihilation. Yet global audiences often see it as a quirky tourist stop, not a profound human story. Derinkuyu's legacy is a paradox, a hidden city now famous, yet its builders remain shadows. It challenges us to value the unrecorded, those who carved homes from stone, who lived in darkness to survive. As one archaeologist noted, Derinkuyu isn't just a city. It's a cry for safety across time. Its outcome is a call to protect fragile heritage, to seek the stories of the forgotten, and to marvel at a civilization that turned fear into a subterranean masterpiece.
Derinkuyu, the ancient underground city carved into Cappadocia's rock, stands as a silent monument to human survival, labyrinthine refuge that sheltered 20,000 souls from invasions and chaos 3,000 years ago. Its discovery in 1963, behind a humble basement wall, unveiled a world where fear forged ingenuity, where communities carved homes, churches, and wineries from stone to defy their enemies. From Phrygian farmers to Byzantine Christians, its inhabitants faced war, persecution, and the relentless desert above. Their story one of resilience against impossible odds. Yet, their names and lives are lost, erased by time, leaving only their creation to speak for them. This subterranean marvel forces us to confront a timeless truth. Humanity's greatest achievements often arise from its deepest fears. Yet history buries the stories of those who build them. Derinkuyu's tunnels echo with the courage of the forgotten men, women, and children who lived in darkness to preserve their way of life. In our modern world, where conflicts and crises still drive people to seek shelter, Derinkuyu's lesson is clear. Survival demands adaptability, but preservation requires memory. As one archaeologist said, the rock holds their secrets, but it's up to us to listen. Let Derinkuyu inspire us to honor the hidden, to protect our shared heritage, and to remember that even in the darkest depths, humanity finds a way to endure. Derinkuyu's hidden world, 3,000-year-old underground city for 20,000. Uncovered by a chance hammer strike reveals the lengths humanity will go to survive. Its tunnels and stone doors whisper of courage against chaos. A story that resonates across time. If this subterranean marvel sparked your wonder, share it with someone who loves history's mysteries or tales of human resilience. Let's keep digging into the past, uncovering the forgotten stories that shape our world. Stay tuned for more journeys into history. Depths there. Always another secret waiting to be found.